As you begin to create your anti-cancer diet, try to focus on what you are putting into your body. Have you ever taken the time to think about how different foods make you feel after you've eaten them? Were you more energetic? Did you feel sluggish or bloated? When a particular food made you feel poorly, did you ever wonder what was in it that made you feel that way? Could it have been the way the food was processed, or what was added to make it taste sweeter, or which preservatives were added to make it stay fresh longer? Let's learn more about different types of foods and which ones to include in your anti-cancer diet. In this segment, we'll look at food rule number 3, which is eat mostly plants, especially vegetables.
A balanced plant-based diet will reduce your odds of developing chronic illnesses such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer. When an expert panel evaluated 7,000 human nutrition studies, they found that when an individual eats mostly foods of plant origin, including at least 5 daily servings of a variety of non-starchy vegetables and fruits, the likelihood of cancers of the mouth, pharynx, larynx, esophagus, lung, stomach, pancreas, colon, rectum, and prostate decrease. Many people are confused about just what a serving size actually is. If you'd like to see some common serving sizes, click on this video. Click the box to learn more. When finished, click Next to continue. In addition to paying attention to serving size, another way to adjust your overall calorie intake is with portion control. These 2 short videos will offer you some easy tricks to managing the size of your portions. Click each box to learn more. When finished, click Next to continue. A plant-based diet includes vegetables, fruits, legumes, meaning peas and beans, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Let's take a closer look at these foods and how much of each should be incorporated into an anti-cancer diet. The American Institute for Cancer Research, or AICR, recommends that your dining plate look like the one on the left. On the right, you will see the anti-cancer plate, which is similar, but with a few notable differences. AICR's New American Plate is consistent with the AICR guidelines for cancer prevention. It consists of 2/3 plant-based nutrients and 1/3 animal protein. Low-fat dairy may be included, yet the focus is on a plant-based diet, which helps to increase antioxidants that protect your body from free radical damage, and increase dietary phytochemicals, which are compounds produced by plants that stimulate our immune system and protect our cells. The AICR diet discourages excessive simple sugars, fats, and sodium. On the anti-cancer plate, animal proteins are optional. If they are to be included, they should be in small quantities, a maximum of 3 ounces, and treated not as the meal centerpiece, but rather as a condiment to add flavor. The anti-cancer plate also emphasizes the inclusion of high-quality plant-based proteins. We include certain unsaturated oils that contain plentiful omega-3 fatty acids, as we stress the use of spices rich in antioxidant properties. You will learn more about high-quality meat and plant-based proteins, as well as healthy oils and spices, in the upcoming segments. Take a moment to think about your meal plate. Does it look like the anti-cancer plate? Click on each meal to see examples of how simple changes to your plate can help you incorporate more plant-based foods into your diet. When finished, click Next to continue. Breakfast. The eggs, sausage, bacon, and pancakes are high in calories, over 800, refined grains, and processed meats. Unfortunately, they are not high in any kind of fruit or vegetable. The oatmeal is a decent base, but there is so much more you can do to make this breakfast an anti-cancer choice and improve the taste. Instead of these, choose these. Look at all of the wonderful anti-cancer fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Lunch. A large ham and cheese sandwich on white bread contains refined grains and processed meats. Instead of this lunch, choose this. Veggie spring rolls with a spring roll wrapper, julienne carrots, beets, peppers, and cabbage with rice noodles and basil with an almond butter dipping sauce. Dinner. A common dinner could include a 12-ounce steak plus broccoli cheddar packaged rice mix, a total of 1,500 calories, 93 grams of fat, and just a speck of phytochemicals. Or this chicken parmesan on a bed of pasta with 1 to 2 spears of broccoli, 1,250 calories. Instead of these, choose this. Kale salad with apples, grilled pastured pork tenderloin with roasted sweet potatoes with olive oil. Or try this delicious vegetarian option. Soba noodles, cashews, tofu, and bok choy. Depending on the time of year and where you live, it can sometimes be a challenge to find fresh produce at an affordable price. This can influence the choices you make when meal planning. Here are some great ways to save money when buying fresh produce. Click each box to learn more. When finished, click Next to continue. Plan carefully to avoid waste. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, the typical American throws away several $100s of food per person per year. For a family, that adds up. Create a meal plan thoughtfully. If you don't food shop that frequently, buy a mix of fresh and frozen fruits and vegetables. Use your fresh produce first before it can spoil, then at the end of the week, use your frozen produce. Shop the sales. In-season produce is often less expensive than other options. Buy local and seasonal. Pick your own produce at local farms or orchards. Buy in bulk. If you have the freezer space, consider buying large quantities of produce when it is in season and freezing the excess. This works great for blueberries, strawberries, bell peppers, corn, and more. Use the whole vegetable. Use the peels and trimmings of root vegetables to make vegetable broths. If you have a garden, compost your produce scraps. When looking to buy produce that is out of season, buy the frozen variety. For example, fresh blueberries are quite expensive out of season, whereas frozen blueberries are typically affordable. Grow what you can. Even if you don't have a garden, you can grow a tomato or basil plant in a container in the sun. Try sprouting seeds. Broccoli and cabbage sprouts are extremely nutritious. You can buy the seeds and sprouting kits online. Share any bounty. If you buy one type of vegetable in bulk, you could trade with a friend or neighbor for another type of vegetable. When you are shopping for produce, keep in mind two particular categories of plants that may be especially beneficial for reducing your cancer risk: alliums and cruciferous vegetables. Click each box to learn more. When finished, click Next to continue. Alliums are bulbous plants such as garlic, onions, shallots, scallions, leeks, and chives. This family has many anti-cancer properties. It contains unique sulfur compounds that are activated when it's crushed. Garlic is anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and has antiviral properties too. It has also been shown to inhibit cancer cell growth, particularly cancers of the gastrointestinal tract. Cruciferous vegetables are a large family of crop plants. This family includes broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, kale, radishes, arugula, Brussels sprouts, turnips, watercress, chard, and bok choy. All are effective at preventing cancer cell growth. This is because they are rich in compounds called glucosinolates, sulfur-containing compounds that give them their pungent aroma and spicy taste. During food preparation, chewing, and digestion, the glucosinolates in cruciferous vegetables are broken down to form biologically active compounds such as indoles, including indole-3-carbinol, and also isothiocyanates such as sulforaphane. Both of these classes of compounds have been studied for their anti-cancer effects. Studies show they may protect against DNA damage, inactivate carcinogens, cause apoptosis or natural cell death, have antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory effects, inhibit angiogenesis, meaning the ability of tumors to form their own blood supply, and inhibit tumor cell migration. In this video, Tracy will introduce you to these important plant families and give you some information about how to use them in your diet.
Let's explore two vegetable families that we really emphasize in the anti-cancer curriculum. These two are powerhouses. So we have the cruciferous vegetable family and we have the allium vegetable family. So both of these groups are loaded with antioxidants, phytochemicals, vitamins, and minerals that are really known for their anti-cancer potential. Let's take a closer look at kale. So to make this really easy, you're going to hold it by the stalk and you're just going to push right up and off. This part you can't eat, it's edible, just really tough. So I tend to compost this part. And then the leaves, you can throw them into smoothies, you can slice them up and saute them. We tend to add a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of stock. They're great to chop up and throw into things, whether it's grass-fed meatballs or whether it's a casserole. So these are great to throw into dishes. Here we have another one of my favorites. These are Brussels sprouts. These are the greens of Brussels sprouts, actually. You can roast them on parchment paper with a little bit of olive oil and sea salt and make kind of like chips. If you're going to use the whole Brussels sprout, the smaller these guys are, the sweeter they're going to be. So that's great if you haven't had them before. I tend to cut off the bottom and cut them in half. And again, on some parchment paper, a little bit of good olive oil, a little bit of sea salt, and to roast them. This little guy is baby bok choy, and you can take it right off. This one's easy, but it's great to slice up and to throw these into a stir fry, lightly steam them. This group in particular, you don't want to overcook. So if you are going to steam them, you want to lightly steam them. If you steam them for more than 10 minutes, you can lose a significant portion of the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants in there. I say if you can try to have some raw, sometimes roast them, try to have them in different ways. Next, we have turnips. So this is a black turnip, which is really fun. If you slice it nice and thin, either one of these, this is a white turnip. You can put these sliced really thin on top of salads. You can roast turnips. I love to do big batches of roasted vegetables, so I have them for the week. So turnips mixed in with some peppers and some sweet potatoes. You can mash turnips, like if you did kind of mashed cauliflower, mashed turnip, mashed rutabaga. There's a lot of different ways you can utilize those. The radishes, they give you a nice little zip. I make apple radish slaw that's delicious. I have to say roasted broccoli is one of my kids' favorite. I just break it up into small florets, olive oil, and roast it. This is purple cauliflower. So there's purple cauliflower, there's more of an orangey varieties, there's the typical white variety. You can do a lot of different things with these. Even broccoli or the cauliflower in your food processor, pulse it up. You can even substitute it instead of a rice. This guy we have back here is cabbage. You can do a lot of different things with cabbage. You can even make it into more of a sauerkraut. So it's fermented, which is even better for your gut. This is kohlrabi. So what you do to this alien looking vegetable is you're going to peel it. And then I tend to have it raw. So I tend to make it into a slaw. It's really a mild flavor, a little bit of a sweet flavor to it. So this is a fun one to experiment with the kids as well. So all in all, this food group right here has a lot of wonderful properties to it. So it's a great group to experiment with. Over here, we have the alliums. We have shallots, we have red onions, we have white onions. Each give a little bit of a different flavor. Garlic in general, so we have a couple heads of garlic here. The thing to kind of remember about the garlic and onion family is if you can chop them, let them sit for a little bit while you're prepping the other things for your meal. Some of the active compounds are more available when they sit for a little bit, and the beneficial properties are even more so available. Chives are really easy to grow. They're great to just slice right up or chop right up and put on top of salads. They add a pop of color and they add that nutrient benefit as well. These are garlic scapes. So typically you only see these at farmers markets or co-ops. They're delicious for pesto. They're one of my favorites to use. Last but not least, we have the leek, which you tend to see more fall. These guys, we tend to use different varieties depending on what's in season, but they bring out the flavor of your dishes and they are phenomenal in terms of an anti-cancer benefit. So have fun with these, everyone. I know some of these look new and different. It's really fun to play in your kitchen. You may try a recipe that you say, it was okay, but that wasn't my favorite. But don't hesitate to go and find a new recipe and maybe you'll love that one. So experiment with these, explore the farmers markets and your local co-ops because they're really delicious when you prepare them really well. So have fun with it.
When eating a plant-based diet, keep in mind that in addition to alliums and crucifers, it's important to choose a wide variety of veggies, including spinach, mushrooms, carrots, and sweet potatoes. Remember to eat the rainbow. Fruits are very healthy as well, especially berries, stone fruits, meaning those like peaches and nectarines that have pits, and citrus. The ideal daily goal is 5 servings per day of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit. Go heavy on the veggies. With both fruit and vegetables, variety is key to ensuring that you get a healthful array of nutrients in your diet. In the next segment, we'll look at another important addition to your anti-cancer plate: whole grains.